let's plant our autumn onions. Welcome to Gardening with Ben. We are now in October, so we're now time to start planting our autumn onions. This can be done now, and obviously you can usually start some off in March, April time if you're wanting to start some off then as well to get even more crops. But these ones we start off in autumn. These ones especially for growing in autumn. So we have three varieties that we're going to be growing down here at the allotment. We've got some yellow ones, we've got some white ones, and we've got some red ones as well. I've never had much luck with growing red onions, but we're going to give it a try as always. If things fail, I just try again. It's the best way to do about gardening. So we're going to be planting these three varieties, and there's probably about 50 in each one by the looks of it. So hopefully we'll get plenty of onions growing for next year. So the ideal tool for planting onions is a dibber. So we've got our dibber ready. We've got our beds dug over, and we can get these planted. Obviously use a cane as well to get them in a straight line, even though I'm never that straight when planting, but it's ideal. And also remember to leave plenty of spacing in between onions. Onions like to get all the nutrients for themselves. They don't like to compete with weeds, so having plenty of space in between makes them easier to weed round and keep those weeds down in the beds, as they don't want to be competing with them. And obviously they've got shallow roots as well, so it's good if it looks dry on top, keep them watered to keep them growing. They don't obviously go far down the roots on onions. So yeah, let's get these outside, let's get these planted, and let's get these growing. So this is the bed that we're going to plant them in. As you can see, it's all been dug over and it's all weed free now. So yeah, we've got his dibber, we've got his cane, we've got his onions. So yeah, let's start getting them in. So we've got all the white onions planted, plenty of space in between them. So what we need to do next is we need to leave a gap so that we can get down the middle, and then we're going to plant as yellow ones as well and get those in next. So we need to leave like a path down there so that we can get in between and get them weeded easily, because they're quite big beds, so I don't want to be stretching over the top to weed it. We need to be able to get down the middle to be able to weed in between the bulbs. So we've now got the yellow onions planted, and we've got a bit of a space there to plant our red onions. So hopefully we can get all those in that area, because I'd like all my onions in the same patch if possible. Obviously, like I said, I've left the space down the middle so that I can get in between and hopefully keep them weed free. But knowing my luck, they will get full of weeds. But we'll see, we'll try and get it all sorted this year and keep on top of everything down at the plot. So we've now got all these planted. We've got his white onions, we've got his yellow onions, we've got his red onions, all perfectly sorted. Now we're going to start feeding these in 3 weeks. We have bought some special onion and garlic feed, which is nitrogen, which is good for creating the leaves on the onions, as obviously they create the leaves first and then they start to swell up towards springtime. So we're going to be feeding them nitrogen all the way up to spring every couple of weeks, and then we will feed them tomato feed from then on to help with the swelling. But apparently you don't feed them nitrogen until about 3 weeks after they've been planted, as that can cause burning of the roots. Now I've never had massive onions when I've grown them, so I've been reading up on it to try and get them big. So this is what it suggests, using nitrogen. So let me show you what I've got. So this is the feed that I've got for my onions. I'll pop a link for it in the description or in the comments for you to be able to purchase if you want it. But yeah, this is for onions, garlic, leeks and other vegetables as well. So we're going to be feeding them after about 3 weeks. So today we're going to net them over first, because you need to net the onions over or the birds will pull them out when the shoots start popping through. So let's get us netted on and get that secured. So we've got them covered over with netting, a nice fine mesh netting. We'll leave this on until the shoots have started growing, probably for a couple of months, and then we'll take it off because then they'll be fine. Once they get growing, they're usually okay. It's just at the beginning when the shoots start popping through. The birds are very inquisitive and they like to pull the bulbs out, and then you end up shoving them back in all the time. So yeah, we're going to keep them covered for the time being until they get established. Obviously, like I said, in about 3 weeks time we'll be feeding them with the nitrogen as well. So hopefully we'll take it all back off the netting, give them a good feed, and then we'll be feeding them every 2 to 3 weeks as well, all the way up to springtime. So hopefully we're going to get some big onions this year. So thanks for watching today's video on how to plant your autumn onion bulbs. Make sure you drop us a follow to stay up to date with how well they're getting on throughout the year and through to the harvest time. Until next time everyone, remember, keep smiling, keep shining and keep gardening.